Welcome to day 9 of our January challenge 2021, working at the moment on Eira Lynn Jones's piece, and a quite different feel to the next 2 days from how it's been before, which is really nice because it's a real gear shift for the listener. And I don't mean a speed change per se, but the way it mixes it up keeps that interest for the listener as you perform it. So I'm going to go straight in on today's, and you'll notice we have these rolled chords in the right hand, and you may also notice our left hand again following this lovely pattern that we're really comfortable with. Okay, we're still in 4/4 time, which is also a change because actually previous to this we've had 2 lines worth of 6/4, 2 lines worth of 4/4. We're staying in that 4/4 time. Okay, so here we go, starting at bar 29. I'll play it through and then we'll work on it. Okay, 3 and 4 out. Okay, what a different feel with these rolls. Okay, so the first roll, it's got quite a big size gap between those first notes. So I'm going to do 4, 2 and 1. The eagle-eyed among you may notice that these strings we are on, E, B and D, are the same strings we were on yesterday at bar 25, in the bar up directly above. So those same notes, but now we're doing it as a roll. Okay, now rolls are something that take time to come. So if this is the first time you've ever done a roll, what you may initially do is kind of go and do it really slowly. Okay, unless written and directed otherwise, we always start from the bottom up with our rolls. Okay, so it's this little squiggly sign, little squiggle next to the notes that's telling us to roll, only those notes, and we start at the bottom and we head up. What I like to think about with something like this is as if there were a wave or a wash of water coming towards me and I want to get out of its way. My fingers are trying to get out of its way, they don't want to get wet. But they're moving as it comes. You could also think of something, in this instance, the words coming to my mind are giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. So have a phrase in your head perhaps that conveys that feel. Tarium is the one I often use. Tarium, tarium, tarium. The thing about giddy up and tarium is they highlight the final syllable. Tarium, giddy up. They're highlighting that final syllable, which is the top note, which is the melody note that wants to really come through. So when we do a roll, being very conscious that we are aiming for that top note. And as always, bending beautifully in, so make sure your fingers are nice and low compared to your thumb, and that they come in so that your thumb has somewhere to aim. Okay, if they curl up here, our thumb hasn't got anywhere to land, it just ends up all scrunched. If they bend in beautifully, okay, and that's not a tight, I'm not making a really tight fist or anything. I'm just allowing them to land on that wall of my palm of my hand. The next one, the middle note's moved. The outer 2 notes are the same, the middle note's moved. So I'm either going to do that 3, 2, 1 or 4, 3, 1. Okay? Maybe 4, 3, 1 is the most comfortable because it's that same size gap for the outer notes. Okay, so that's what I'm doing for that. And the next bar, a nice triad shape. Triad is play 1, miss a string, play 1, miss a string, play 1. On A, C, E, we would call it an A triad because A is the bass note of it. Okay, and again, ta-dam. Okay, now the next 2 are just 2 notes long in our rolled chord. I actually find 2-note rolls a lot harder than 3-note rolls to play. So the thing to have in your mind is almost to not allow it to become a thing, not sort of think, oh, it's just a 2-note one, it's going to be difficult and it's going to go bud-dum, but almost imagine that there was a third finger involved and just allow it to be those last 2 notes. So it's the reum or D up or giddy up. Okay, we aim generally for the roll to be anticipating the beat. So the final note of the roll, the tarry or the giddy up, is what lands on the beat. And that becomes relevant when we're playing along with something else, so the other hand. So for example, in this second bar where we've got the third beat, which is the AC, that C is the one that wants to land with the G. Okay, so if I do that bar, okay, it's extremely subtle, to be honest, when it's happening, but it's one to be conscious of and try and aim for. Just that, what's landing with what. So that's your thumb that's going to land with that G. Okay, moving on, the remainder ones are all 3-note ones. We have B, E, G. These are all going to be 3-2-1s, but just be conscious of where the gaps are, because in that first one, the finger 2 is closer to the thumb. And then in these remaining few, we have the 2 finger closer to the 3. And then in that final one, the 2 stayed where it was. So there's a bigger gap now between 3 and 2. Okay, so you might, if you have maybe a highlighter or something, you could highlight the ones that are a little bit different, which is where the 2 is closer to the 1 rather than the 3. You might like to do that. Okay, and again, what we have here in this final bar with these rolls is we've got this roll, which is meant to be anticipating the beat. And we've got quavers happening in the left hand. And we need to be careful not to end up going and rolling both of them, because the left hand is just dum, dum, okay? And also allowing the roll to be anticipatory, to be slightly ahead of the beat, so that the final note of your roll lands with that bass left hand note. Okay. So that is your ideal world aim with it. Remaining conscious, though, of course, of the 2 words written at the very beginning of the piece, which were with freedom. Okay, so don't beat yourself up too much. Aim for it, try it, but play mostly with your level of fluency and your comfort level. And if you play and you maintain the piece and keep it flowing through these bars, that is much more important than that tiny difference between it landing with or before or after. Okay, so the overall flow of the whole piece is the main point to be conscious of. So whilst the stickler in me says, but this is what we're aiming for, let's do it, the performer says, the way that works, that lets me perform it and continue on and not throw my listener off because it felt awkward, is the right way. Okay, so let's have a go at, let's go straight on that last bar. So on bar 32, the last bar you've got there. So my right hand at this moment is on A, C, F. My left hand is going to join in with F and C. And then my left hand will move up 1. My right hand's got the same chord twice, moving down 1. Moving down 1 again, but be careful of where your finger 2 is for the final chord. Okay, so straight on this final bar, I will count us in. 3 and 4 and. Okay, should we try that again? Here we go. Same place. 3 and 4 and. Okay, and then if we just bring the chord that comes before it so that we go from the final beat of bar 31. Okay, so just the one crotchet beat or quarter note beat that happens before. Just leading into that, okay, so our left hand can sit ready on the F and C. I will count us in the full bar prior. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, and then if we go back to the beginning of the line, starting at bar 29. Okay, ready? Beginning that 3 and 4 and. Super. Okay, we'll do more with that over on the play along videos. So join me over there, and then I'll see you tomorrow. More rolled chords tomorrow, so really good thing to be practicing, really getting to grips with today. Okay, take care and well done.